Maybe I'll just quickly start. I mean, my experience in the career has been, tremendous and exciting and a bit chaotic at the same time. So, originally a PhD immunologist, working in B-cell T-cell interactions in the context of allergic asthma, because that's what most of us were doing back in the mid to late 2000s. But when I got into advanced therapeutics, it was mainly at Penn, and I was working in a lot of gene therapies where we saw rare, ultra rare patients, primarily kids, that had certain windows we had to achieve in order for them to benefit from these therapies. So it became critical around the time. I carried that with me into other experiences. Ultimately ended up at Lonza, where I was doing a lot of this work. And what really solidified it for me was I was doing a clinical trial in Israel. And Israel's Ministry of Health strongly encourages you to use fresh product in cell therapy. And the stability for that product is around 10 hours. So the need to do things extremely quickly is just paramount. Otherwise, there's a patient on the other end that is not going to get a therapy with a disease that will kill them if we're not careful. So I carried that with me, and we were very successful in treating patients in that. It was not without its stress. And I have some stories about that, all-nighters literally. But carrying that here to Charles River, the first thing I said when I got here was, well, now that we have this assembled, this portfolio, we have a concept to cure portfolio, because you never need to leave, and I can coordinate all the activities from beginning to end, from preclinical to commercialization within this portfolio. That's what made that timeline possible, is the ability to coordinate amongst our own teams rather than trying to coordinate amongst multiple companies. Do we have instances where we're coordinating with close strategic partners? Yes. And that's very successful because we have a good relationship with them. I would say for a lot of companies out there in this space, they're primarily smaller biotechs. With good data and good people, you can always raise more money, but you cannot get more time.
Yep.
That's the thing you cannot get more of. So if we can do this more efficiently for a better cost and a better rate of return, that's what we're after. And for this year with the meeting, my first time, and I thank David for hosting me.
You're outstanding.
And definitely would like to come back. This has been a great meeting so far, meeting everybody.
I heard that.
Yeah, I've been here in Asia many times, never been to Taiwan. My first experience here has been fantastic. And so seeing a lot of old friends, meeting a lot of new people, and that's what these meetings are about, is to get out and exchange ideas in an open fashion, just like we did in the session and the panel now, hear new ideas, debate the ideas, because they're not all perfect, and then go from there.
Awesome.
Yes.
Maybe I just even complimenting what I think Matt and Charles River was doing. I think, of course, that very catchy schedule, right? My God, so fat, right? But I think people also need to also look into that integration, right? Integration is like customer want to come to the place, right? Called a one-stop shop, right? A small company, instead of managing 3 service provider, they just mention one. Because they hold that integrated company accountable, right? I think Charles River, to me, just I think you mentioned the CMC part,
right?
But you didn't put too much effort. I think maybe next time you should put your effort for the integrated toxicology,
yes.
Non-human primate tox, because that's the one. You're putting that together with your integrated speedy CMC part. You get first in human so fast. That's amazing. Yeah. So I just want to fill the gap. Probably you're too humble to say that.
No, thank you. And we've looked at the surveys on this, and a lot of companies
integration,
make decisions for clinical even at the preclinical stage.
Yeah.
Because they have to have a plan now.
Fast.
It has to be fast. It has to be integrated. You need to know what your next step is before you actually reach the next step.
Exactly.
And that's what investors are demanding. They're not asking, they're demanding.
Yep.
That's part of the term sheet, that's part of the tranche schedule.
Yep.
You have to have a plan.
So maybe come to me, right? Again, this is my second time. Again, just amazed every year. I come to this conference, and also just really learning what Taiwan biopharma, not only just a biotech, not only just CDMO, but whole entire biopharma industry evolving, right? As a homegrown talent, I'm Taiwanese, right? Get my undergraduate from chemical engineering, National Taiwan University. Then went to US for 38 years, and come back last year, right? During my exorcist outside Taiwan, right? I've been everywhere. I've been in United States most of the time, but I also been in Europe, but also in China. So I've seen all the different, I call the good and bad and ugly, right? So I think that was something I feel I'm privileged to seeing that. I'd also probably be able to make some comment here, right? Really come down to, maybe I say that in a very, very subjective way, right? The reason attracting me come back to Taiwan is really the talent here, right? The talent pool here is just amazing, right? But unfortunately, I would say in the past few decades, right, those talent in the biopharma talent, either in the development, either in the regulatory, either in the manufacturing, it's just they just do not have opportunity, right, to really exerting their capability to do that. So that's why I'm just thrilled to have a chance, also the honor, right, to really build and leading the TBMC company. And this company, I believe the future success really hinging upon one key factor is Taiwanese talent, right? That's why I talked to Matt during the break, right? The talent here, they're well trained and have a high work ethic, right? Commitment, and they taking their job seriously, right? So this is what I feel is a priceless asset is in Taiwan. So I love to see those talent having the right. I think what those talent have been in the past, they not only the lack of opportunity to be someone, but also they lack certain kind of guidance telling them, right, what they need to do to make a meaningful impact. And that's why I like to see that happen, right? I like to see even more international company come to Taiwan to do things. I think that in the the panel discussion, one audience making the provocative comment, right? I say, well, yeah, true, right? There's a political hurdle to doing manufacturing made in China, right? But hey, if you get out of China, Taiwan definitely will be alternative. That's why I try to persuade Matt and other multinational company. Actually, I think Charles River did have the experience back to China before.
We
right?
did, and we still do. And I would say that it's my turn to compliment you, and that I think you coming back and now forming TBMC, with the varied experience that you've seen around the globe, I think uniquely positions you and ultimately TBMC as a ambassador and an ability to go out to the field and say that we need to look at Taiwan more closely. And then I think you've been great in helping us understand Taiwan as well as the talent pool. And it's very attractive to us. And so we're very excited about the opportunity to work with you all hopefully in the future and look for ways that we can collaborate.
More than just a conference speaker and panelist, right?
Yeah.
No, I think maybe another thing I want to use opportunity to really promoting, right? I think, Matt, I'm so thrilled you make a comment. Taiwan semiconductor industry, of course, everybody knowing what they're being done can make it the most advanced chip in the world, right? But what those peripheral capability they develop, supply chain, clean room, automation, right? AI. So all those things, I'm dying to let TBMC to tap into those peripheral things. Hey, actually, I've jokingly talked to some of the E3 engineer, which they done a lot of programming automation for semiconductor manufacturing plant, right? When I tell them what my automation need, he said, "Is that all you need?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, we can get that thing done within a day."
Yeah.
Because the simplicity for what we've been needing versus a very, very complicated the chip fabrication is there. But unfortunately, nobody have tapped into that, right? So I'm hoping through TBMC, even possibly TBMC, to bring in the external the collaborator to tap into those kind of, I call the off the soft talent, maybe the hard capability, like automation. Yeah, that's my comment.
Yeah, I mean, we were competitors in David's past life, and I would say this, that the space is growing considerably in this advanced therapeutics. So we have just begun to scratch the surface. As I pointed out, I think in my talk, we're addressing maybe 5% of the commercial market at the moment. So there is a lot of work out there for all of us, but at the same time, we at Charles River, we can't be everywhere at once, and we look into new geos where we can work with partners and find synergies. And certainly, somewhere like Taiwan with someone like David and TBMC represents an opportunity to look at what those synergies are. Yes.
Yeah.
And we are very clear that we can't do it all on our own.
Yeah.
And that's why we have multiple partnerships. We have over 40 partnerships right now. And it's not because we know we're better than our partners, it's because we know we have an equal exchange of information and expertise. And that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Basically, the pie is so big, enjoy it together. Right?
Yes, I can even go deeper, right? At the current status, also probably in the near future, TBMC is more focused on the early stage, even the preclinical stage, the CRDMRD part, right? Because that's where you can tap into the Taiwan talent. This could be complementary to a lot of US CDMO, which more geared towards the manufacturing part, right? So this is already probably naturally we can combine complement to each other together, right? But more importantly, Charles River is known for their testing business. TBMC don't have testing. Yes, we can do the product release testing, fine, but any biosafety testing, any toxicology, non-human primate testing, I need somebody to work with me, right? Charles River already had the experience in the past, despite in that time we are competitor in the US, but right now we're not competing anymore.
No.
I need that integrated service, right? Of course, I cannot say, okay, we share the revenue because TBMC and Charles River don't share the revenue, but we can share the service, right? So we send out sample, we can build a partnership, right? And we can sign a very, very good, fully committed term sheet, right? With submitting a sample, right? You can turn around, right? In the best possible way. So this is so many things. Like Charles River and TBMC, we can collaborate. I think we chat earlier with Matt, right? It's always opportunity for the two, I call that maybe superficially it's competitor, but underneath it, there's collaboration opportunity coming up.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah. So that's my 2 cents. My 2 cents.
Simply give you 3 cents.
Thank you so much, Dr. Wang.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.